Have you ever wondered how the Cape Colony, now part of modern-day South Africa, fell under British control? Initially, the Dutch held sway, but the Cape's strategic sea route piqued British interest. In 1795, the British occupied the Cape Colony for the first time, only to return it to the Dutch in 1803. The British returned in 1806, and by 1814, the Cape Colony was officially ceded to them. And that's how the Cape Colony became a British possession, marking a significant shift in South Africa's history. But how did the British expand their control over the rest of South Africa, you may ask? Well, let's delve into it. In the early 19th century, the British made their move into the interior of South Africa. There they established the Natal colony, and further north, they annexed the Transvaal and the Orange Free State. However, this expansion wasn't without resistance. They faced stiff opposition from indigenous peoples who were defending their homelands. That's not all. The British found themselves entangled in two major conflicts, known as the Boer Wars. These wars were against the Boers, descendants of Dutch settlers. The conflicts were fierce and complex, but ultimately, they further solidified British control over the region. This period was a whirlwind of expansion, conflict, and power struggles. It was a time when the map of South Africa was being redrawn, boundaries defined, and the groundwork laid for what was to come. This period of expansion and conflict set the stage for the creation of the Union of South Africa. So, how did we get from a collection of British colonies to the South Africa we know today? Well, it started with the formation of the Union of South Africa in 1910. This was an important step, as it brought together the Cape, Natal, Transvaal, and Orange River colonies under a single government. However, uniting these territories didn't magically erase their differences. Racial tension and inequality, deeply rooted in the systems of these colonies, continued to persist. These societal disparities would eventually lead to the infamous policy of apartheid, implemented in 1948. Apartheid, an Afrikaans term meaning apartness, was a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination that divided the nation for nearly half a century. But South Africa was not destined to remain divided. In the face of adversity, a wave of resistance surged, demanding equality and justice. This struggle led to the historic end of apartheid in 1994, marking the dawn of a new era. The nation held its first democratic elections, symbolizing a significant stride towards a fair and just society. Yet, the road to progress was not straightforward, and the legacy of the past continues to echo in the present. The nation has had to grapple with the deep-seated issues that resulted from years of colonial rule and apartheid. And thus, the modern-day South Africa was born, a nation shaped by its complex and diverse history.